Hey YouTube, it's Mrs. Dr. Lupo.
And I'm Sam, and today on The Magic Word, we're actually going to be discussing part 2 of minimalism and intentional living.
Hope you enjoy the finish of this conversation and catch us live every Friday at 8:30 a.m. Pacific.
And make sure you like and subscribe for more magical content. Hi.
Happy Friday.
Uh-oh. Can y'all hear me? I'm actually the other Sam as well. Hi. How are you? I'm great. How are you? Oh,
Why
I'm
does this one screen just not pick up my microphone? Every single time. It's this one screen that does not pick up my microphone. It makes me so mad.
Is it picking it up now?
Yeah, we were just fine, and then when I don't know, I just always forget to check on this screen, and apparently it doesn't like me. So
It's okay. It's like mine. I always have mic issues.
yeah, well, you know what? We're professional strimmers, and this happens. We hit glasses and hear spoons.
Sorry,
and
that was
stuff.
my coffee mug. My metal straw.
You know what? That's just the way it is. Are you ready for today?
Damn, I'm so ready
Today's
for
not
today.
heavy. Today might be a little heavy, but today's not like world heavy. It's thought provoking heavy. Why is my
Yeah.
mother calling me?
Hi, Mom.
Mom, I can't. It's 10:30. Okay. You know what? We're just gonna 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Why
Oh,
are
where am
you
I?
not showing? Oh, because I was on the other dang screen.
All right, now we gotta fix me live. You got this,
Where
Sam.
are you?
I'm here. I'm over here. Can't you see me? Look. Should I come down here? Oh wait, where is it? Look, I'm here. I'm big.
Oh,
No,
on the other screen, and so I was like, yeah, everything's just. Okay, ready? You gotta mime it. You gotta mime stretching this box.
Oh,
out.
okay,
I'm gonna go up first.
Let me,
So push up.
let me, get down there. Or wait,
Ready?
where's my head? Hang on.
Push up.
All right. We're ready for this.
Push to the side.
Get it. Nice. And now I'm supposed to
make
big.
you smaller.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Professionalism.
Are you in a good spot?
Am I? I don't know. My screen went funky again, so all I see is pixels. You tell me.
I think you look great.
Thanks, friend.
Oh my gosh. Just my luck. That is a thing that happens.
Hi, everyone.
Your immersion is ruined. All right, let's try that again. Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the magic word. Guess what? This was lucky because I haven't started recording yet.
Oh, thank goodness.
And go. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the magic word. We did not just have something happen where you couldn't see anything and the mic wasn't working, and I just did it on the one screen and not the others because we don't have a guest today. It's just us. Hi.
That's right. It's just us. Hello. Welcome to the first time you're seeing us today.
The curtain has been pulled back. I'm sorry. What's hilarious is you were so close and your shirt says you're too close.
I'm so glad that you read that. Yeah, you're too close. Get away.
Well, I mean, you're full size on my screen, so like I can read it. But when you being smashed in, you were like Mr. Mime.
I was. Oh my gosh. I actually used to do a little bit of miming in high school. I did theater classes, and I remember recording an entire bit of me kind of like holding a rope and walking around, and then like slowly walls are closing in on me, and then you have to get out of the box, and I like find a key in my pocket and I unlock it and I get out, and then I pick up the box, and then you make it smaller, and then you keep making it really tiny until like you're able to pick it up. And there's your box. Now it's in your belly.
I need the full routine next week. I need the full
Find out next time.
I need the full routine. Either like you record it and we play it, or you do it live. I don't care. I need to see this in my life.
That's secret content. It's pretty much for the internet.
We just need to have a whole entire episode like on stupid human tricks. Like,
Oh gosh, could we?
I
I
don't really
love.
have one though.
Oh, I mean, well, we already determined that I have crazy fingers, and I now I can mime.
I
What do
can
you
I
What do you
can
have?
make a really good goat sound, and I can also sound like a trumpet.
Can I hear one of those?
Which one do you want to hear?
I want to hear the trumpet.
Okay. Okay. Let's I have to like think about this so I don't start.
Oh, but before you start, evidently you're a little quiet, so
Well, I'm
you should
turned up all the way,
probably.
so I'm turning you down so then everybody can turn up
Oh, there we go. Turn
everything
up.
in general. All right. Now I'm like nervous. I don't know how it's gonna sound on a mic.
Ba, 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 ba.
So I'll like be sitting there doing something and I'll just randomly start doing that and Ben and Charlie just sit there and watch me. I have no clue.
I don't think I've ever heard anybody be a trumpet.
Does it
You know
sound
what?
like it? Does it actually sound like a
It
trumpet?
does. It actually sounds like a trumpet. It's funny because now I just imagine that you would not be just an animagus. Like you would definitely turn into a trumpet and just like be in the corner and nobody would know it's you.
And I can do the whole vibrato part, like when you're whole like because I'm not, you're actually pushing air like you would through a trumpet and stuff
Oh my
like that.
gosh.
So yeah, that's
Can you do
my.
can you do a
one.
pig noise?
Can I do a pig noise?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Oh, I can hear. It's like it's more like throaty.
Yeah. Oh man! All right.
This is
Then I
not
have to show
today's
you my goat
episode.
noise, and then I guess
Okay,
we're
I'll do
done.
it.
Okay,
Let's see if
ready?
I'm okay. Okay, my favorite thing about that is that I used to own a bunch of pygmy goats, 7 of them to be exact, and there was one, he was a little more wild in how he sounded, his name was Ned, and we actually named him Ned because of how he neighed, whatever you call it, screamed. Oh, actually, it's more like, isn't there like a goat meme that you insert into some songs,
Yeah,
and he's
it's
like the screaming goat? Yeah, that's Ned. But you actually sounded like all of my goats, and I feel like I need to take the feed out there and give them to you.
There we go. All right. So you will come up with your mime routine, and I will play a trumpet for you.
We're ready. Are y'all ready for that? Entertaining.
Anyways, that's not what today's show is about. But first off, how was your week?
Well, it's a million times better now that I've experienced such a beautiful morning. But honestly, my week was really good. I've just been doing my normal work routine. Also, yoga has been going so well. I got to do yoga with Sam. When did we do it? Tuesday night, I think it was.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was so good and relaxing, and I felt like a little jellyfish afterward. I was like, it was great, and I'm here for that. But it's been a really good week. We've had rain, beautiful here in Southern California, and I'm just excited that it's now Friday. Oh, tomorrow I get to do a stream with Leif to raise money for American Heart Association.
Oh, nice.
So super stoked about that. Yeah, it's his annual stream.
Is this the one that he does every year? Yay!
Yeah, so he's like setting up all the incentives, and he gets to
That's
choose
so
what
cute.
he does. Yeah, because it's his thing. I'm just there to be the parental supervision over him streaming on my channel. So, but it's gonna be so good, and I'm really looking forward to it. What about you? How was your week?
My week was pretty chill. We had a blizzard this week. My week's chill. We had a blizzard. Nebraska.
She's got jokes.
We had 11 inches of snow, and apparently it was the 7th highest amount of snow that Nebraska's had in 24 hours. So, but I mean, like, we're used to it. Everything, the streets are all plowed, and everything's good to go, even in the like the neighborhood streets and stuff like that. So we're gonna go sledding today, and yeah, it's been nice. Grandma stayed with us from Sunday until Wednesday because we had a few extra work things and meetings that we had to do. and she didn't want to have to travel in the snow, so she just basically lived with us this week. So that was nice to have her around and stuff like that too. I was able to get some stuff done. But
oh my gosh.
it
That sounds
seems
so
like
lovely.
it was an exciting week. A lot of exciting things happened this week. But it was just a chill.
I agree with that. I feel like it was an exciting week, but it's mostly just stuff like behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But hey, that's always tons of excitement. Love that for us. I have a question about snow.
Yeah.
What's your favorite part about it? Because like I, as somebody who doesn't experience snow ever, always think that it's like the most magical thing in the world. And then of course everybody who lives in snowy areas, it's like,
I honestly love snow. I'm one of the few people that
oh,
actually,
really?
yeah, love snow. I very rarely get frustrated or hate it. It's the wind. The wind
Oh, the cool
chill.
chill. Yeah.
That's the part. And it's such a Nebraska or Midwest thing to say is it wouldn't be so cold outside if it wasn't for the wind.
Yeah.
That's such a Midwest thing to say because we could be standing out in 20-degree weather and think that it's fine if we're bundled up. But if it's the wind, then that's the part where it like feels like needles in your face if it's snowing and there's wind. But I just like tromping through the snow, like just the crunch.
Crunch,
Yeah.
crunch.
Oh, it's just so good. And I love driving in the snow.
Really?
Yeah, you feel like a slow-mo race car driver. Like going around the corners and stuff like that. And your car glides, but you're not going super fast because you're going like 5 miles an hour. So I just feel like I'm in a movie and I'm like a, NASCAR driver or whatever, and going around the corner and the camera pans and it's slow. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm so cool. Yeah.
They're like, oh, there's the Lupo.
And oh man, I mean, when I first started driving, my dad would take me to empty parking lots and teach me how to do cookies in parking lots.
Hang on, cookies?
Spin in circles in your car in the snow.
Y'all call that cookies?
Yeah, what do you call it?
Donuts.
Cookies. No, cookies. You spin a cookie.
Donuts. What the heck?
No.
I've never heard cookies.
No.
Wait, that's
wrong. Has anybody said cookies?
That's so cute, Sam. It's donuts.
No, it's cookies.
No.
Oh, not a single person.
That's why I was like, wait, is it like a figure 8, but with like, do you do like a circle and then like add chocolate chips in? I was like, how are you making me a cookie? Does Ben also call it cookies?
I don't know. My dad just
I
told me
have to ask
cookies.
him. Oh, your
This
dad
week sucks now. Ending stream.
Oh, no, we love you. Yeah, you so much.
Anyway, you drive in an empty parking lot and you pull the emergency brake and then you spin around in a circle and then you learn how to stop yourself, okay? And then you eat cookies afterwards because you're cold.
There you go. You know what? That's why it's cookies.
There you go. Now I feel like I made that up. I have to call my dad.
He'll probably be like, no, they're all wrong.
100% texting him legitimately right now.
Do it. We're going to get it like in the middle of a serious conversation and
What's
be
it
like,
called?
it's
When
cookies.
you drive in the snow and spin in a circle like in a parking lot. Having a debate. Thanks.
A debate. No, friend. There's no debate. It's time for an intervention.
When it's not in the snow? Well, you don't do it when it's not in the snow because then it's on cement and then you...
I mean, that's what we did in the South. You do it not on snow. You do it on cement. And it leaves like a tire track, so it makes a donut.
It's a burnout.
Yeah, it's a part of that. Burnout we usually do more for like a skid mark.
Yeah, maybe when it's in snow, it's called cookies, right? Maybe.
Yeah, dirt.
Y'all
cement.
are wrong then.
Maybe it's called cookies because of like the snow that like gets picked up, and maybe it leaves like little piles in the cookie, and it looks
If
like
he says donut, I'm probably gonna start crying.
no, Dad, you better say cookies.
He doesn't watch my stream anymore, so he'll have no clue what I'm talking about.
It got really bright. Here comes the sun.
Yeah, I was to say your shirt's a little blowed out.
Is that
Yeah, that's better.
Okay.
Should we actually talk about like our
Sure.
our actual?
Yeah, take it away. What are we
Talk about things that disappoint us this week instead. Stop. Everybody that says that it's donuts, I'm just gonna ban you for right now until my dad responds. Imagine having a topic, right? We didn't just come on here and talk about random things. There should be a week that we literally just don't plan anything, and then we just feed off of chat.
I mean, it's basically like just chatting. You just figure out what the vibe is.
I don't think we could be in the talk show and podcast area then if we just sit here.
We'll just feel like feeling noise. Trumpet in the background. The pig.
We're gonna stare at the camera until somebody in chat says something that sounds interesting, and then we'll talk about it.
A whole episode of just miming. You're not gonna hear a thing.
We could do a whole episode of ASL that's very broken, because do you know any ASL?
Yeah, I actually grew up doing sign language to plays. I've performed in Cats. I've performed in Wizard of Oz.
Oh, you know more than me then.
Yeah, I know a lot of ASL, and I also was on a team at my church growing up called the Silent Singers for God. And so we would sign to contemporary Christian music. So, yes, I know quite a bit of ASL.
I had a friend in 7th grade that was deaf, and so I learned ASL in the end.
That's a good way to learn.
When we were hanging out with Ewok a ton.
Yeah, I remember having dinner with her and
stuff like that. So, yeah, I went through and I taught Ben like super basics, beginning conversation kind of stuff. He knows the alphabet. That's it. But I'm like, you know what? That's knowing even just the alphabet is so much more than what majority of people do know. Mm-hmm. And so for people that are hard of hearing or deaf, it obviously makes a huge difference. So.
It gets confusing sometimes. I mix up my letters.
The grammar, I've never been able to understand the grammar of it. And so I sign like I would speak, because that's just as far as I can go. Thank you. He says cookie or donut. Damn you. Okay, I'm in a chat with 150 people right now, and none of them say it's cookies. And I'm mad.
And I'm mad. Make sure you like.
Okay, so this is going to be the cover for the this whenever this goes up on YouTube.
And I'm going to be like, yay!
No! We have to do like the super over dramatic.
Oh, that's right. Clickbait.
We have to do the Cypher PK where he's like. All right. I feel like if we don't start now, we're not going to talk about today.
Start what? What do we have, Sam?
Oh, man. So, there's been a couple weeks in January, which is crazy to think that it was both in January. And we missed even an episode in January. That stuff happened in the world and in life that we are technically 3 weeks behind on our minimalism, whatever, 2021 prep. We have 2 more weeks. We have this week, and you can kind of count next week. Next week, my sister-in-law, Molly, is going to be here, and she is a certified nurse practitioner, and she talks a ton about intentional living and mindfulness, and she has her whole thing, so I don't want to give away too much, but she will be here next week as our second guest, and we will be talking to her. So, but this week we are going to finish up our talk on minimalism and kind of phase into intentional living, and I feel like intentional living sums up everything that we've been talking about with our goals and all that kind of stuff too. So, Min's game. I'm about 100 things behind right now. but I'm having a hard time without touching my office yet. Having a hard time finding stuff in my house. What about you?
That's good though. I haven't done it the past 2 days. So I do need to catch up as well. But other than that, I do have a lot of stuff that I like see and I know that I can grab. I just haven't yet because of time, but I'm going to. Mine has been mainly my office as well. I did a lot in my bedroom. I think I mentioned last week that I cleaned out like an entire bedside table, which is 3 full drawers of things
really?
that I.
It's just like one little one.
Oh no, mine's like an actual like mini dresser basically, which is
Okay.
awesome because now I can put sweaters in there instead of in a container under my bed because they just don't fit in my closet. They're just too fluffy. Closet's too small. So I've got that now available, which is awesome. My son gave up. So he was done.
It's a lot, honestly.
It is. Well, it just started feeling like a chore to him, and I was like, "That's okay, buddy. I will use your items as mine." So whenever I go through your clothes, so we had a clean out. My brother helped get rid of a lot of his toys in his closet. So we've donated a lot of that. I'm pretty sure we've already actually surpassed the month, but I also want to find these items myself.
Right.
If that makes
It's
sense.
like
It's
a
like
game, right?
yeah, it is the
It's a hunt, scavenger hunt for junk that you don't want.
like there's stuff on my desk I could probably part with. Maybe.
Maybe we should just have an episode where we both clean out our offices at the same time. We'll just split screen it, and then we can just go through drawers and be like, yeah, why do I have a USB drive that looks like Charlie Brown that I've never used before?
So cute though.
Right?
Heck
I don't
yeah.
know why he's not showing up, but it's adorable. My mom, I think, gave him to me.
Oh, I got one USB drive, but I don't remember what it. Oh yeah, it looks like from Black Desert Online. The
I have so many.
little black character. It was cute. I got it from a convention.
I have so many. I keep opening up the same drawer and finding stuff, and then I just put it back in there.
I'll get to you later.
You'd watch that? You guys want to watch us do an office organizing and decluttering? Honestly,
Oh gosh.
I'd be totally down.
Mine, we might have to like pre-film it and then splice those together and make it a YouTube thing because of the angling of my office, since it's also my brother's bedroom. I need to protect his privacy.
We'll just hang a curtain or something like that.
I mean, that's exactly what this is, my green screen.
Yeah. Well, maybe I'll just do that on my own. Maybe that'll be my way to actually finally go through my whole entire office.
There you go.
Do it on stream, pull out a drawer, and literally air my dirty laundry, aka my gross art supplies.
All of my pens.
Here's all of my pens. Okay, so I did buy something. And I bought a large enough bag to hold all of my markers for my bullet journal. So like I have my midliners, I have my Tombow, I have my Sharpie pens,
Gosh,
flare tip Sharpies, and all of my super tips. Or all of my like markers I use on a regular basis.
I love that you have all of that, and I struggle so hard to find a pen that has ink in it.
So many. All right. So that's where I'm struggling, is actually sitting down and doing my office this week. But
what makes you want to hold on to them?
I mean, I use all of those markers.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you write letters, or do you like use it for art, or what do you use yours for?
I use it mainly for journaling and for my planner.
Oh, make it pretty.
I think I have it in here. I have a bullet journal, and then I take notes for work and stuff like that. And I just like to doodle while I'm on a phone call, because otherwise my brain, I just end up staring at stuff.
That's okay. It's like listening to a teacher whenever you're in school and you're just doodling on your paper and stuff.
Yeah. I had in the front of every single notebook, I had a scribble page. And
yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Actually, I used to do mine on the back of the cover because it was always like a harder page, and I really liked that. So I would doodle on that one.
Yeah, so I would just literally sit there and then and if I got frustrated with something, especially with like creative writing, if I got frustrated with something, I would go up to my doodle page and I would just start coloring, and just like
bad idea.
I would rip through the paper eventually. And then I would be able to, break through my writer's block and be 100% okay with that.
You're good.
Have you gotten, so you said that Leif stopped, which is totally
Yeah.
fine. But have you been watching the tag on there? I don't think there's any on Instagram, and that's fine because we're all mainly on Twitter for this kind of stuff anyways. But on Twitter, there's a ton of things on there of people like giving stuff away, and it just makes my heart happy to see everybody that's a part of it, or even people that are like, I haven't taken any pictures like me, but I'm still doing the project. I'm like, that's so cool. Or I've been going through the Less Is Now hashtag, which is the hashtag that they created for the documentary, for this version of Min's Game, and just seeing everybody, go through stuff is exciting. I went through our whole linen closet and part of my closet, like accessories and stuff like that yesterday. And Ben opened up our linen closet and he's like, it doesn't feel like the towels are jumping out to eat me now.
Love that.
Hooray!
I always forget about my linen closet, honestly. We have a bunch of towels in there that we really could part with. Because like we all have our set of towels, but then we also have extra ones for guests. And to be very honest with you, I don't know, the next time we're going to have guests, let alone the space for them. So at this point, we could probably part with a lot. And that could open up a lot of space. Because, oh my gosh, do you have like those, actually, you probably don't anymore because you've got your Bettys. But like those big, what are they called? Duvets? Like super heavy, fluffy duvets. We have one in the closet and it like takes up its own cubby because it's so big.
My Betty's kind of does that because I have two sets, and so when I store them, I fold them separately, the bottom part and the top part, and they take up a whole entire shelf because we have a king size bed, so it's really big.
It's usually our winter blanket 'cause it's so heavy.
Yeah,
but we honestly don't use it much anymore because now I have a weighted blanket that it honestly holds in a lot of heat on top of our smaller linen blanket. So I mean, I could probably part with it.
we have so many extra weighted blankets because Ben and I tried individual weighted blankets, and then we're like, they keep getting moved around and whatever. Let's get one that's big enough to cover both of us. And then Ben decided that he didn't want to sleep with a weighted blanket anymore. So now I'm back to one individual one. So I have a single individual weighted blanket and a queen size weighted blanket that nobody's using right now. But it's one of those things that like I held on to them. I got rid of all of the shams for like my Betty sets and my previous comforters because I don't use the shams. And so I got rid of all of those. I got rid of our mattress protectors because we haven't been using them for over a year now. So I got rid of like that and a couple old towels. But we basically, any old towel we take downstairs and put in our guest bathroom. Like old, meaning like they're not the super nice fluffy ones that we use. And then once those ones become too worn down, then we wash them up really well and donate them to Humane Society. And then they'll use them for puppies. Nice. So if you have old towels, don't throw them away. Give them to your animal shelters.
I didn't know that.
So much, yeah.
Yeah, we have like 3 old towels that we have on us at all times, just in case there is a mess.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We have messy towels, and then we have towels that like we used to have that didn't fit like the style of our bathroom, and that's why I only buy gray towels now because everything's gray towels. I don't care. There doesn't need to be like, because before when I thought it was super important to do so, one bathroom had blue towels and one bathroom had yellow towels and one bathroom had green towels and one bathroom, whatever. And it's just like, that's annoying that now I have to go find the purple towels for the purple bathroom when I should just get everybody the same color towels.
I mean, that works too. We have like a towel colors for each of us. Like Leif's towels are yellow. My brother's are like a rust orange. Mine are a teal and my husband's are gray. And so anytime it's like, hey, grab me a towel, we know which towel is which. So they just kind of grab that towel for that person. I don't know why we do it that way, but it just works.
I mean, that works. But I think that works for individual people. But I was doing just individual rooms for like hand towels. Can make it decorative. But who really cares what color your towel is
This towel is not the same as your bathroom theme.
Your towel clashes. I don't want to come to your house anymore.
I'm a towel connoisseur. Sorry, that's
somebody is. Somebody is out there that has all the different, like, this is a vintage towel from 1954 or whatever.
But, like, that's when you had too much time on your
Maybe that's their hobby, okay? Don't dog on their hobbies. They probably find a new hobby, but don't dog on their hobbies.
Have you picked up video games? They're nice.
Anyways, let's kind of do a little bit of a sum up from the previous weeks. So our first week we talked about goals versus resolutions versus habits and stuff like that. And you had mentioned a few habits and goals that you had. Do you remember what your habits are or goals are? And have you been working on them?
I forgot.
You forgot yours.
I really did. Honestly, this month has been a month, and my brain has shifted in many different directions trying to navigate. So I honestly have really forgotten what I really wanted to do this year. I know that a part of it was being more intentional with like my purchases and where I buy from and things like that. And not spending money where I don't need to. So that has been something that I am very conscious of whenever I do make purchases now. But I mean, other than that, I don't know what else I said. If y'all, yeah, I'm sure I'll be reminded. What about you?
I had 3.
Okay.
One was to work on my headstands every day, even if it's just like flipping one time and that's it. And I've done that nearly every day this month. And I actually am now able to get into a tripod headstand position on my own, where instead of your hands being around your head like this, your hands are to the side and you put your knees on your elbows.
Did you show me that one on Tuesday?
I showed you both.
That was so good.
So I was able to go up into that one, not even realizing it. I was just trying to explain to Ben, and then I got up and I was like, "Oh, hey, it's like this." And then I have been able to get into a tuck headstand, so where your knees are bent and tucked into you, on my own, and it's only been a month. So I'm excited. By the end of the year, my goal is to be able to get up into a headstand and do all the different versions of, like froggy legs and splits and all that kind of stuff. And then, we'll work on handstands after that, whenever that happens. My second one was to not buy any new clothing that wasn't like undergarments. I included workout gear in there as well, because I like my girlfriend collective.
Girl, you like what you want to like.
Workout stuff. And then unless it came from a small business, and I consider girlfriend being from a small business. So I have not purchased any clothing that is not aligned with that. I do have a gift card though. How do you think gift cards work? I have a gift card left over that I found for American Eagle. I mean, technically the money's already spent, right?
If it doesn't expire, hold it on until maybe there's something that you need or you see something that you really like that you will get wear out of.
I definitely, like, as soon as I found this and I found out how much it was, I went on their website and I was like, and I found nothing. And I had stuff in my cart and I was like, oh, that'd be kind of cute. But nothing really like screamed at me to take. Yeah. So I emptied my cart and walked away.
Proud of you.
So, awesome. But yeah, I was just trying to think. Technically, this is not a small business. But the money's already spent. So do I just throw away $53 or do I just suck it up and get something new? Does that count against my goal? I don't know.
I mean, I don't think it does, considering that the money is already spent. Like, you were not spending money out of your pocket for it. But, as you tend to, just use it on what you really need.
Yeah,
really
I think if I'm intentional,
they have good leggings. If you want,
they do. I mean, they have great leggings.
Yeah, like, I love their leggings, or even like their bralettes and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I could regift it. Definitely.
Yeah, you could.
So yeah, I think that I will hold on to it, and try to be super intentional with a plan ahead of time, not just going to browse their site. Maybe I'll be
Yeah.
like, I have a pair of leggings that are worn out, so I need to go find a new pair of leggings.
Or if you
Like
need
that.
some socks, they have socks.
Yep,
Or
something
you
like
can
that.
even use it on bin if you need something.
There you go. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes me feel happy. And then the third one, oh, no new art supplies, which I haven't done yet.
Oh.
Very tempted to do so. Multiple times. I'm like, those markers are pretty. I probably already have the color, but I like the packaging.
But this one could be prettier in my hand that
Exactly.
nobody's gonna see except for me.
Yeah, that's okay though. So yeah, I think I've done fairly well as far as my goals and habits. And I didn't make any ones that were super um, metric based. I think that sets you up for something more doable when you don't have a strong metric that you have to like line up with. So
Yeah, that makes sense. I think I was just reminded of what some more mine what a couple more or what a couple of mine more. I can't speak.
yes, a couple of
Yes.
yours were.
Where? That's the word I was looking for. Thank you. Yeah, making more family time and disconnecting from social media. I've been so good about that, honestly. And I'm really, really proud of myself. My mental health because of that has done so much better. Not doom scrolling has been
There's also been less to
incredible.
doom scroll.
There has been, which is wonderful. Like, thank you. But well, I mean, unless you're talking about stocks right now, there's a lot of doom scrolling in that.
Oh, yeah. I let Ben
But,
deal with that.
but I mean, other than that, no, I've been really good about it. I have this week in particular, I was a little bit more busy work wise, so I didn't have as much family time. But I was able to get out like on the weekend, and Leif and I went out for a really long walk in the rain. Like we just enjoyed the rain, and he like took off his hat and he was just feeling free, and I was feeling free. And it was a really good day, and those moments are really precious to me, and I'm glad that I focused a lot more on that. And then like the social media aspect, I have started to notice more whenever I start to get in my head about things. And so when I notice that, that's when I click out of any social app at the time. I've also been really good at maybe posting something or sending something and then getting off the app immediately. I feel less obligated to have to people please everybody and reply to everybody and stuff like that whenever I don't have the spoons to handle it. So if you send something to me or if you reply to me on something and I don't reply back, it's not you. It's literally me.
That's why if I need you, I just text you because I know that that's my
You'll know.
route, and I know
Yeah.
you'll get to it when you can.
Yeah, I
But
have
it's one of
everything
those.
for social except for text.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
good.
so
I'm just gonna
it's
call
been
you if I need something.
I love phone calls, girl. Call me anytime.
Oh, I hate phone calls.
Okay, then don't text me.
Texting is so much better because then I can do other things, and then like I don't know.
That's how I feel about phone calls. Like I like to have just somebody on speaker and we're just chilling while I'm doing something.
Yeah.
So that's what I like to do. But no, yeah, it's been so much better for me. Proud of myself. That's a pat your shoulder thing.
Round of applause for
Round of
everybody.
applause.
So all of this basically sums up into intentional living. And being intentional means doing something with purpose. And intentional living basically is being aware of your values and beliefs and desires in life and only living to serve those. So not doing other things for other people that don't ultimately go put you in the path that you want to be on.
Yeah.
But also obviously not being snooty and being like, I'm not gonna help this friend because it doesn't help me. That's not the thing. But things to keep in mind is what are your have tos? Are they actually things you have to do? Do you bend to pressure to be part of every ask, or can you say no? And I think one of the biggest things with intentional living is knowing how to say no, and then also being okay with the potential fallback from that. And if you say no and somebody gets mad or somebody feels hurt and everything, can you handle that emotional response? It goes back to, subtle art of not giving an F kind of thing. And that's, I think, the hardest part for people is being able to disconnect yourself from what social media is asking you to do and from what coworkers are asking you to do, your kids' school, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Some parents they'll literally do anything that their school asks them to do for their kids because they feel like they have to.
Yeah.
And then they are tired and they can't do anything and they don't get to spend time with their kids. And then their house falls apart because it's messy. And then they're just not happy. I mean, I guess the end goal is to be happy in life, right?
Yeah.
So, do you feel like there's certain situations where you feel like you have to do something?
Yes. If it has something to do with me being in some kind of leadership role, that I have already signed up for, then that is a have to for me. Um, it's something that I'll take time to put my energy into and make sure that I can put myself into. However, I have learned a lot over being in this industry in particular of saying no. Because it usually, like, especially just like in the streaming industry, starting up, you say yes to everything because you're just like opportunity, opportunity, opportunity. However, if it's not a hell yes, it should be a no. So, and I learned that throughout the past 6 years, that maybe there are sponsorships that don't really apply to me. And although yes, it could help my family, or yes, it could be good in the long run in this aspect, is it really good for me? And I focused a lot on that lately, of what I should definitely be focusing more of my energy on and where it aligns in my life and what I can do with those opportunities. So, but it's also the same with friendships.
Mhm.
A lot of times, a friend may reach out and be like, hey, can I talk to you? And I have been a rough friend and I can tell them, no, I cannot right now. I mentally cannot handle it. I am working on things right now and I just can't take it on. Bear with me for a moment and I will get back to you. So, and I do get back to my friends, but thankfully I'm surrounded by people who totally understand my time, and what I've been dealing with and working on. The thing is, I'm not just wallowing. I'm constantly working on bettering myself. I do what I need to do to get things done. Um, and that's been a very intentional part of my life, on focusing on what I need to do to make sure I still get work finished and that I do it well, um, without just putting the time aside because I just can't handle it right now. But it's mostly just been my relationships that have suffered because I've been so focused on work. But that's been one of my goals this year, is not focusing as much on just that energy. And that has been going well too. So it's finding that balance for me personally. But yeah, what about you? How have you
I feel like there's, especially for any of us that are in social media,
yeah.
that we feel like we have to post consistently. You have to have pretty pictures. You have to do all this stylized stuff, and you have to join every platform that comes out, like the whole
Yeah.
Clubhouse thing that's becoming popular now. And I'm like, I don't know.
Mhm.
That's enough. Two platforms is enough for me. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook is just there so I can get a hold of some people that I don't
Same.
like. I don't really need them to be part of my gaming and work world and stuff like that. But that's it. Like, no Snapchat, no TikTok, no whatever else there is out there. I don't have any of that. And uh, I was in a meeting yesterday and talking about potential sponsorships and stuff like that. And they're like, "What are you willing to post on?" And I was like, "I have Twitter and Instagram. Also, I'm not willing to do Reels for a sponsorship because Reels take so much time for me, and right now I don't have that time." And
Yeah,
they're
you have
like,
to edit those too.
Yeah, and they're like, well, that's a lot of what Instagram is looking for. And I'm like, too bad. Unless it's like one reel and that's it, I'll make time for that. But if it's like, we want you to do 3 reels across 3 months, and no, that's just,
Yeah, at that point, just make it an Instagram story because it's an easy video. With a
yeah.
swipe, there you go.
And then I'll save it to a highlight or something like that.
Yeah.
But I used to feel like I had to be like everyone else. And that was when Ben and I first started in the whole gaming world. It was an industry we had no clue about being online and stuff like that. And I feel like I felt like I had to be like every other girl I saw. And I don't have to do that.
No.
And that was like learning that and being intentional with my time and with myself was one of the biggest breakthroughs as an adult that I felt, is that I don't have to play into what everybody else is doing. You see so many people that do that, and it's got to be exhausting. It really does. And then, but now it's the thing is to be different. I'm not like other girls, kind of thing. And now that's the thing that everybody's trying to be. And so it's just like, it's so frustrating. So I just try to ignore all of that and just be unapologetically me. And
Girl, same.
you're gonna love it or you're gonna hate it. And thankfully most people love it. So like it seems like so much work and so much effort to just be on that upkeep. And so that was one of the things that when I started really trying to be understanding of my time and my energy and my emotions, that was one of the first things that I kicked. I was like, I like me. I didn't like me when I was trying to be like everybody else. I really hated myself. But I like who I am, and hopefully people do too. There, as far as I know, there is a very small handful of people that do not like me for various reasons, and that's fine. They're not affecting my life. I'm affecting their life more than anything, and they can deal
You
with
live
it.
rent free in their head.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's okay.
That's
It's
my
just,
favorite thing.
yeah. It's so much about just what, keep saying this in a sarcastic way, what brings you joy. Um but it
Yeah.
is defining the things that make you feel happy and living for those things. Can you think of anything that you do like on a daily basis that you just look forward to doing?
Drinking my coffee.
Yeah, that's
Like, I
such a
know it's
ritual
little.
for so many people.
Yeah, it's like, oh my gosh. And then whenever I get asked my coffee order, I get nervous because there are people that will put you down that are just like, oh, that's not good coffee, or you should do it this way. And I'm like, no, no. This is what makes me so happy every morning. I wake up and I look forward to that cup every morning because it's made the way that I love it. It's my moment of just like, this is me. This is my bubble gum for thoughts. So I'm chewing my bubble gum right now and enjoying my moment. How dare you try to ruin my moment? So it's so small, but it's a big thing for me, and I love that. And honestly, I didn't really say this first because it's so new, but yoga has been something I look forward to in the mornings. My alarm goes off at 5 a.m. I'm a morning person. Hi. I know I'm not a night person. I'm like the opposite of every streamer. But I wake
I'm
up
not a
at 5.
night person either, don't worry.
Oh my gosh, bedtime is glorious. I wake up ready for bed. So I wake up and I do my yoga because I take medicine in the morning and I have to wait an hour before I can have anything in my system. So I just fill it with that time and then I make my coffee. And it's just like it goes from a good moment of me meditation, taking care of myself, to my wonderful cup in the morning with more moments of just me, and then I get ready for the workday, and it helps me start my mornings right because I don't allow things to negatively impact my morning to the best of my ability, and that has been the smartest decision I think I made throughout this work. I heard that. I heard the ghost.
Yes.
The ghost of Charlie.
Downstairs. iPad is my iPad.
You can go do for a moment, Sam. I can talk.
So what do you need?
We love you,
Do you
Charlie.
want me to resume Cleanie for you?
Oh, he's up in his phone now.
Oh, okay.
So I'll bring him back down.
Right now? Okay.
What's his battery at?
I don't know, buddy. I'm working.
It's on your phone.
It's half full right now. Let him charge, and then when I'm done, like I said before, we will take it. It's okay.
You know you're a mom win.
This better totally stay. If we do this in a podcast form, that part's gonna stay.
We're just gonna hear Charlie's little voice.
All right. Super side, 10-second side note on this. Charlie's gonna be one of the greatest daddies in the whole entire world because he babies our iRoomba so much. Like he wants to make sure that he's fully charged and that he's clean, that he's doing his job, and he like checks on it all the time. And he checks the battery. He's like, "Oh, mommy, the battery's blue. We gotta go charge him because I don't want him to get tired."
That's right, Charlie. Do y'all have a name for your Roomba?
His name is Cleanie.
Aw, he's a cute name.
Charlie named him, and I was like, "You don't want to name him like a spaceship or something like that?" And he's like, "No, his name's Cleanie because he cleans." I'm like,
That's right.
okay, so we did decide if we ever, for some reason, get a second one, his name is going to be Clean Bee because he's the bee.
That's funny. Well, so tagging off of what I said, what do you do that is just like for you, or like what is your happiness throughout your day?
I orchestrate my days around music.
Really? Oh, you do. I remember that.
So and scents. So I usually light a candle in the morning. I wake my house up, where I open up all the blinds, get all the natural light flooding into the home. I have nice, energetic, but like still quiet music playing in the morning for everybody. Have a nice, bright, energizing scent candle. And then after lunchtime, usually right before Ben stops work, the candle will change to something that's a little bit more warm and cozy smelling. And we'll switch music. We always play music at dinner time every single night. And the lighting, that kind of thing, making my home kind of adjust with the energy of the day is something that I really look forward to and brings me like the greatest amount of joy ever, is to be able to stand there and just walk around my house. And my house is clean. Even this morning, I had an hour between when I was ready to go. So I was ready to go at 9 a.m. this morning. We don't get together until 10. So I had an hour. The dishes were already done. Laundry was already started. I really didn't have anything that I had to do. And so I just bummed around my house for an hour, watched some YouTube videos. I played with the cats. And because of the way that we live with being intentional with our time and our energy and our effort, I had an hour that I didn't have to do anything. And I didn't feel guilty about just laying in the sun on my bed, watching a YouTube video about somebody painting their bathroom. Like it felt good. And that's where like, I feel like I made it, right? That there was nothing else I had to do because I had everything else already planned out for the day. I could have done emails, sure, but I already have a plan after lunch to do emails. So I just had time. And so doing stuff like that and setting the mood for our family, I think makes a huge difference for me. And I super enjoy it. Yoga for me as well. I like pamper myself. You saw my setup when I do yoga at night. I have Christmas lights. I light a candle. I have soft music playing. I turn off the overhead lights. And so it's like very vibey kind of thing. And I just do my yoga and I don't do a video. I just listen to music and do my thing. And it's like one of my favorite things in the whole entire world to do. Those bring me joy. I try to do them every single day. And I can tell if I don't do yoga in a day, I can just tell that I'm just cranky and I hurt and I'm crotchety and
I've
Nobody
noticed that recently.
nobody
So
likes
when I
me
miss a day, I'm like,
Ben will be like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I didn't get to do yoga today." And he's like, "You want to go stretch for a little bit?" I'm like, "Yeah, I want to go
yeah,
stretch."
let me switch.
Even now, like if I'm playing with Charlie, I'll be sitting in like butterfly position and I'll be like, "Let me reach for this toy."
No, let me.
Yeah, I need to reach here. I'm just gonna hold on to this Paw Patrol pup over here for like a minute, and then I'll come back to you. Um,
Honestly, integrating that somehow into your livelihoods is really important too. I feel
yeah,
like it just allows it to feel more natural instead of like some kind of chore.
yeah. Where you feel like you have to work out.
Yeah. So that's smart actually. I didn't even think about it that way.
Yeah, when we watch movies or like TV at the end of the night and stuff like that, I just am constantly sitting in a stretching position, and it feels good. I can move, so
Are you
might as
able to do
well.
the splits?
Can I do the splits?
Uh-huh.
No, it's a goal. One day, I want to
Never.
either do a straddle split. I think it'd be my left leg, and I'd be more successful. Or no, straddle splits or side splits. I think is
I've
what it's
never
called.
been able to do the splits.
No, my hamstrings are too tight for the splits.
Is that what it is? It's your hamstrings that's the
A lot
problem?
of the time, yeah, it's your hamstrings.
Oh, because you've seen how mobile I am,
Yeah,
but I've never been able to do the splits, even with my hypermobility. Huh. I'll get there. That's my goal now.
yeah, it would probably be easy for you. I've seen
It's
videos of
getting
people like got into the splits from barely being able to do anything in a month by just practicing and doing a routine every single day.
Oh, I want to get that's gonna be me.
It's crazy.
Come out next
Um,
month. I'll tell you.
I keep tapping on our notes and deleting certain words and stuff like that. So let's see if I can make sense of what I'm writing here. Obviously, not every aspect of your life is going to line up with your intentional living, though, right? We have to pay bills. We might have to go to a job that we don't like. But what do you think you can do to make those experiences better? I personally don't feel like I have many of those experiences. Thankfully, I'm very privileged
Yeah.
in that way that I super enjoy my job. I don't have to worry too much about bills. But I remember when I did. I remember when I couldn't afford anything in college, and I would be behind on my $200 rent because
Yeah.
I still couldn't afford that. And I remember just being happy about saving. I hated saving because obviously I wanted to spend money. I wanted to be able to go out with my friends. And so I remember making it like a fun thing. And since I was a server, I always had cash. It's either, servers or strippers that have all the dollar bills in their pockets. Um, yeah. And so I got myself a really pretty jar,
Oh,
and I put my money in there, and then I had a lid. So that way, at least there was an extra step for me to take the lid off to reach in to, go hang out with my friends that night or whatever. But that was my thing when I didn't have any money, is I made saving pleasing by having a pretty jar. I decorated it, all this kind of stuff. Um,
oh, cute.
yeah, it's just like little things like that. Like if you're not a fan of your job, and some people just have to do jobs to get money, why not make your desk a pleasing place for you to go? Pretty it up.
Big true. Oh my gosh. So I relate to that so much. I love my job. Let me go ahead and put that out there. But from where I started on my living room floor to where I am now and walking into my space that I have been able to decorate and make my spot, it has brought me so much more energy, like just good energy my way. And I will never take that for granted. And honestly, it's the same with my house, making sure things are picked up. If I walk into a room and it's got stuff just laying there or papers piled up or things where they don't belong, even whenever the couch pillows are messed up, it gives me like a sense of anxiety for a moment. So I'm like, let me go straighten that. That needs to be straightened up and tidied and everything. Because then when I look at it and it's tidy, like, oh, this is a nice home. And then when it's messy, it's like, I hate this house.
Right? I want to
Throw
move
it
it,
away.
write it down.
Get it out of here. Get the
I'm
dumpster.
exactly the same way. Like, if things are out of place, um, then it just feels like my life is out of place.
Mhm.
And I feel disheveled and I will never get anything done and the world is collapsing inside me. But then as soon as I straighten those pillows, it's just like I accomplished something. I made my
Yeah.
bed today. I make my bed every single day. And it's just one of those things like I wake up accomplishing something.
Yeah. It's a small little mission. Like,
And then
then that's a reminder. You don't have to do
and
big
then at the
things.
end of the night, if it was a bad day or a good day, a sad day, happy, whatever, I walk into my room and I've already taken care of myself by setting my bed up to
There we
be
go.
ready to go at the end of the day. So I'm like, I'm already creating my little hug at the end of the day by having a bed that's put together. It's like finding little things like that that you can do to make those mundane things
Mhm.
not feel so mundane and make your life easier, more complete. It's just a lot. It's just so good.
Getting another dresser in my bedroom was life-changing for me because I had clothes that were just in bins. And I've mentioned this a million times. I wear all of the clothes that I own, but I also own a lot more than more people. But I wear them all because I like to really change up my outfits. And it got to a point where our master bedroom closet, it's not a master bedroom closet. It's the same size as my son's closet. It's nothing special. It's little. And so I kept making myself feel so guilty for enjoying my clothes when I didn't have the space for it. And we had a wall where we just had like empty containers because storage is lacking in this apartment. And I would just put clothes in there and then I would miss out on knowing what my clothes were. And so eventually we invested just last year and we've been in this home for 5 years now, 6 years. And I got a dresser and looking at that wall with my dresser and I got a mirror above it and I got two little shelves on the wall and I put plants on it. Oh, that is my like bread and butter of turning over to my right side in the morning and waking up and seeing this spot. Like it's so perfect for me. And it doesn't match any other section in my bedroom, but that's fine because I also don't mind things looking really eclectic.
Yeah.
But it just knowing that like all of my clothes now have their spaces. I know what's in them and I can see them and I can just go and be like, oh, I want my yellow shirt today. Let's go grab it. And it's in this drawer. And like that's so fun. Yeah, that brings me a lot of joy. It's
Like you're giddy thinking about it right now.
It's so pretty. I love it.
So you talked about buying a dresser. And what's funny is you highlighted and said this just to me.
Sure did.
When we were talking about this. I'm skipping a little bit ahead, but intentional in your purchases. Consider your why when buying, and what feeling does purchasing give you, and can you replicate that elsewhere in a healthy manner if it's not a healthy purchase? I'll call myself out. Ben used to be able to know when things were wrong with me because all of a sudden an excess of Amazon packages would show up to our door.
Oh, no.
Because I used to buy things to make myself feel better. Everyone says that like, let's go shop, like do therapy shopping or whatever and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
retail therapy.
Yeah, there you go. Retail therapy. It doesn't help, right? Because then all of a sudden you have less money. It helps momentarily for the most part.
Yeah.
But in the long run, does it really help? Do you look at that random shirt that you bought on a whim because it gave you an adrenaline rush 6 months down the road, and does it still give you the same adrenaline rush? No, now it's just an item in your closet. A lot of people will have ones that they haven't even taken tags off of, and they just bought on a whim. They're too lazy to go return it, or they can't return it. And there's guilt afterwards.
Yeah.
And you feel bad that you spent $100 that you weren't supposed to spend because you saw something that somebody else had and it made you feel bad that you didn't have it. And that is just like a spiral that you can go down. And all of a sudden, you're overwhelmed with so much stuff, but none of it makes you happy. And so then you're like, well, I need to find more stuff to make me happy, but it doesn't work. You find more stuff and more stuff and more stuff. And then you have to go buy a storage unit because you have too much stuff. And then it just like turns into this avalanche.
Yeah.
So for years, and even now, it's hilarious. I feel like for the most part, I've broken myself of this habit. But even now, if I buy something for myself and it's not something that Ben and I have talked about ahead of time, he'll be like, is everything okay?
No.
And he'll like check on me and I'm like, no, it's fine. He's like, are you sure? Like, do we need to talk about something? I'm like, no, I'm fine. I just really thought this necklace was pretty and I've been sitting on it for, I have a necklace that's coming from one of my favorite jewelers that I've been
Is
sitting
it the
on.
clay one?
What was it?
Is it the clay one?
No, it's from Little
Oh.
Sycamore. I have my little green organic stone one, and I'm getting one that represents like myself and Charlie, and it's for August and our anniversary. But I'm getting a blue one that for Ben, and I've been wanting this necklace since I
Cute.
found her 2 years ago, and I finally was just like, you know what? I am okay purchasing this because I still dream about it 2 years later. And so I got it and it's on its way. But when I told Ben about it and he's like, is everything okay? It's like, it wasn't like a cheap $10 thing that I could buy, right? I mean, it's real gemstones and real gold and stuff like that. So, you know, but I was like, no, it's fine. I've just been waiting for 2 years for this necklace. And I finally felt like it was time to get it. Your impulse purchases are buying subs for Sam's viewers. maybe not answering that one. But being intentional in your purchases, do you have anything that you are like that where you find yourself not so intentionally buying certain things or in a situation?
I've gotten a million times better. Mine is always in my clothing. It's really nothing else. It's just my clothing. However, I've been more intentional on where I buy from. And also not purchasing items that I pretty much already have. So different long sleeve white shirts. White is my favorite thing to purchase. I don't know why. I've gotten rid of so much and I dwindled it down. I have now 2 long sleeve white shirts. One that's under this one, so it's a tighter one for undershirts, and then another one that is for regular wear. So I've gotten a lot better about thinking about what's in my closet, what I can already wear. I used to buy coats, like thick coats. I live in Southern California. I'm not wearing a thick coat except for maybe at a convention for 3 days. So I got way better about that. Now I have coats that are, what's the new thing that's sort of coming out, like jackets? They're like shirt jackets, and then my blue jackets. So they are things that I can wear here, and I do wear them a lot. But mine's always been my clothing. But that's why I make sure that it's clothing that I wear and will continue to wear, and not just make it a one-day thing for a social post or for a convention, or things like that. So it's always funny because my family calls me out. They're just like, Sam, you have so many clothes. And it's like, and you know what? I wear them all because I like to wear different outfits. And it brings me a lot of joy. Like my clothing brings me so much joy, but I feel like I'm finally in a healthy spot with it, with what I remind myself with when I'm purchasing. It's like, what am I buying this for? Where am I going to wear it? Will I wear it often? And that dwindles down also to like pattern stuff, because a lot of times it's hard to wear that repeatedly without it looking literally like the same thing. But if it's just like a basic white long sleeve shirt, you can put different jackets over it and it looks like different outfits every time. Overalls on it, and it looks like a different outfit every time. So it's just, I try to not buy too many loud things unless I plan to wear them a lot, which
Your
normally
mushroom
is
hat.
Oh my gosh, I am so excited to wear that again.
I can just imagine you're like, it's been 7 days, mushroom hat day.
I actually almost wore it today.
Really?
I did.
It
And
would
then I
look
was like,
so cute in here.
next week I'm wearing a mushroom hat.
You know, wear it, save it for our love episode because I feel like
Okay,
that
in 2
just
weeks.
like yeah, in 2 weeks.
I will be a mushroom.
Do you know the one thing that I see a lot of,
Mm.
and it's kind of weird with influencers. Like I'm starting to get influencing sponsorships and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And it's weird because I don't want to just shove something down somebody's throat that I don't actively love and doesn't align with my personal goals and stuff like that. But the one thing that I see always a ton of people buying is water bottles or like
Oh my gosh,
coffee mugs. And
got my one.
yeah, I have my super huge one, and then I have a blender bottle, and then I have two smaller bottles. Charlie has 3 water bottles total. Ben has 2 water bottles, and that's it. But we used to have so many more. We probably had close to 30 water bottles at one point.
What?
And they were just
Oh my
shoved
gosh.
because that was a impulse buy thing. I would go to Target, I would see them on the end cap. They'd be very pretty. And then I would buy them. And I'd come home because my other ones were dirty, that I would use my new one. And then I couldn't find another one. So then next time I went to the store, I would just buy another one.
Oh
And
god.
it just avalanche. But you see so many people that are like, I have so many water bottles. Like it's a personality trait.
Is there tea in here today?
Where's,
I drink my water.
Me as I fill up one of my 10 water bottles. But do you need 10 water bottles? Unless they all bring you joy and you use them all on a regular basis, that's like where the minimalism thing comes in. Because does it stress you out when you have 10 water bottles, but you can't find 10 water bottles, but you don't really take care of your water bottles because you know you have 10 of them and you're going to find one eventually somewhere? You have one. I'm sure that you take really good care of that thing. You know where it is at all times. You like it goes with you when you go places and stuff like that
Her
because
name is Matilda. She goes everywhere with me.
it's your one thing. You take care of your things when you have fewer of them than when you have more because you know that that's your only thing. If you lose that water bottle, then you're screwed because you don't have another water
Yeah.
bottle to fall back on.
These are expensive too. Oh my gosh, no more,
Yeah,
please.
and they're always just the extra ones are just sitting there and they're gathering dust. Or for me, they get lost in my car and then I find them and I'm like, well, dang, I forgot that I had this water bottle and now I have to go wash it and donate it because I don't use it, obviously, because it's been underneath my seat for 6 months.
Oh my gosh. I will say having a massive water bottle has helped me not lose it.
Right
There's no way
before.
it's getting under a chair. It's not hiding anywhere because it won't fit. It won't even fit my cup holder. So it's literally right next to me. Oh my gosh, I never
You
thought
gotta
about that with water
carry it
bottles
like a
though.
little baby, like when you had to
I
take the
do.
flour
She's my
sack home
child.
in elementary
Oh,
school.
did you ever do the egg?
Yeah.
There was an egg one too, yeah.
Mhm.
Oh gosh. Wait, did you actually do the actual baby one? Did you do that?
No.
I didn't either. I don't know why.
Scary.
I never did. Was that in home ec? What was that in?
I
I don't know.
think
I just
that
never did it.
I think it would be in home ec. We did more baking in home ec than anything.
I never did home ec.
Really?
Yeah, it was a requirement. Same with the typing class, but I never did either of them, and I graduated fine.
Can you cook?
Yeah. Well, okay. I learned to cook whenever I became a live-in nanny for a family because I did not know growing up. I only knew how to bake.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now I can cook. My gumbo's the best. Fight me.
Make it for me sometime still.
I will.
So minimalism and intentional living kind of go hand in hand, right? We're talking about that. With less stuff in your life, you can focus on areas that bring you more happiness. Less dishes, more playtime with your kids. Less dusting, more time to take your dog on a walk. Less purchasing, more time and money to experience new things instead. And so with each thing that I touch and that I purchase and that I do in a day, I really think about it. It sounds really, really dumb, but like, why do I have multiple sponges that are the same size, or one's barely bigger than the other, is it going to stress me out to have to wash both of them when I should just have one? Because then I don't have to worry about taking care of two. This was just on my desk. My desk is a treasure trove of things that I need to follow in my own kind of saying.
The amount of lipstick I have on my desk. I feel you.
Yeah.
I keep my lipstick at my desk.
I guess if you had to sum up intentional living to somebody, how would you describe it?
Living within your means for the most part. Gosh, it's like answering that is a whole paragraph kind of answer to give the proper rundown.
Yeah.
But definitely just saying like living within your means. And not doing what Sam and I learned from. Not purchasing things that one you don't need. 2 that only bring you a moment of joy. And 3 that are just going to cause you stress later on because it's piling up. And I'm still a baby in this journey. Sam's taught me a lot and continues to teach me a lot as I am growing from it myself. I feel like, oh, it's pouring outside. I'm so sorry. Did it again?
Hold on. You tell me when you're ready. We'll go back in.
It's actually hailing.
It's hail. What?
Oh, her face is too cute to not show this.
It's hailing outside. Oh my gosh. Sorry, Southern Californian here. Okay,
Are you going to go outside and collect the hail and put it in your freezer? Because I've seen a ton of people do that when they had barely seen hail before.
Okay, after this stream, I'll be a little late to start.
Go get some hail?
I have no idea what I was saying. Sam, take it away.
What does intentional living mean to you? What intentional living means to me is in every aspect of your life going through and saying, does this lead me to where I want to be? Does this relationship lead me to where I want to be? Stop looking outside. I could tell that the weather was changing because it got real dark.
It's getting dark. This is the first time I've looked dark.
Yes, exactly. I'm like, man, I'm blown out now. So everything that you're doing in your life, purchasing, your relationships, cooking, cleaning your home, how you take care of yourself, does it lead you to the life that you want to be? Because we only have one life to live. So why are we on autopilot and being drones? And Ben, Charlie, and I are reading The Phantom Tollbooth. Have you ever read that book?
No, what is that?
It's such a good book. It's a book that I read when I was a little kid. Please tell me that just like cookies, some people know what The Phantom Tollbooth is. But it's one of my favorite books from when I was a kid. And I think that it is a book that literally every adult should even read too. It's about a little boy. He's going on this imaginary adventure, but he just doesn't care about anything. He doesn't care about knowledge. He doesn't pay attention to the world around him. And it's about him learning this. And we are currently in the city of reality. And everybody in reality, they used to walk from place to place and take their time and notice the sights and smell the flowers. And the city was beautiful. But then one person found out that if you don't pay attention to anything and you walk from point A to point B, that you can get there faster and you can get things done faster. So everyone started doing that. Everyone started looking at their shoes and walking from their homes to work, back and forth. And eventually they didn't pay attention to the city, so the city disappeared. It's just all these people driving and walking around, not paying attention to everything around them. They still live in these imaginary houses, but they can't see them because they don't take things, they're taking everything for granted, basically. And for a kid to learn these lessons, the book's a little deep for Charlie at 5, but he's getting it. And it's the same kind of thing is, do you want to live in that reality where everything is just push and shove and clock in and clock out and do this and do that because you feel like you have to or you were asked to and you can't say no? Or are you wanting to live in a world that you actually enjoy? You do. You
Yeah.
enjoy your time here. Again, we only have one life to live, depending on what you believe. We have one life to be here. Why are you looking like you're gonna start laughing?
I'm being called out.
You feel called out?
Honestly, hearing you say that though in that book, I need to pick that up and read it to life. But it definitely brings in the quote of, "Are you living to work or working to live?"
Right.
Like, and it sucks because that is people's reality. Honestly, I feel like I'm in that reality a lot. Because I know if I do not get up and do work, then there's a problem. And it causes a hook in my day, a hook in my family livelihood for, I don't know, for either financial reasons or emotional reasons or things like that. And we do get stuck into this day-to-day mentality, especially with this pandemic. A lot of people, as soon as you wake up, you want to interact. And we have it at our hands where you can try to just interact. And it sucks that that's our reality right now and that we are kind of in a lot of autopilot moments because you're not able to get out and experience too much right now. So that's
people
a
ask if
one.
minimalism and intentional living and that kind of stuff is classist. I don't think it needs to be.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be. There are gatekeepers in every area of life. But don't let that stop you from trying to do something that could be potentially good for you and your livelihood.
Right.
And take a lot of stress off of your shoulders. I used to look at minimalism and intentional living, be like, oh, I can't do that, not with the lifestyle that I live. And then I had to think, what lifestyle am I living? And I really don't live that differently than the people who are minimalistic or doing something intentionally instead of just purchasing because you can or just doing something because you can.
Yeah.
It's put a lot more into perspective, and I do feel a lot lighter because of it. So
there's a lot of less pressure on you.
Mhm.
When you have less stuff, you have less cleaning to do. So when you have friends over, everybody's reaction is to clean your house, make sure your house looks presentable, even though they're your friends and they don't care. You still want that. But if you have a minimalist life, your house is already clean, then you don't feel like you have that pressure and you don't feel like you're being judged from your friends. And so your relationship with your friends is stronger because you don't have that internal monologue of telling you that you're not worthy of their friendship because your house is a mess. People will be like, well, I have kids and they do this and whatever. Teach your kids how to be clean then. Like
it's your same with clothing. It really is. My mom in particular taught me that your first impression is the one that needs to be the best. And that came down to a lot of fashion with her. I learned a lot from her with that. And I think that has been a negative thing that I learned really young because I relied on how I looked and how I presented myself physically for people to like me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not fair. Don't teach your kids that, please. It's really not. Because it didn't rely on my personality. It was just oh, nice outfit.
I felt like I couldn't be friends with certain people because my parents didn't buy me the trendy clothes.
Mhm.
And I felt like they wouldn't like me because I had different off-brand Doc Martens, stuff like that.
Yeah, we did too. We had a lot of off-brand stuff. I mean, we had 7 kids in the house. You had to penny pinch.
Yeah.
But that was even worse though, that she Love you, Mom, if you ever listen to this. Sorry, I'm not saying that you were wrong in like all of your teachings. But anyway, for that one in particular, it was a struggle because we could not afford the way that I wanted to be presented to be accepted at like school and stuff like that. The good thing, I guess, for me was that we had school uniforms growing up, so you couldn't really do too much.
Oh.
But you could still tell who was wealthy because of their shoes or the type of khaki pants that you bought or like the type of collared shirt that you owned. Because if it was Dickies, they knew you were broke. But if it was anything else, they were just
Duckers, then you knew that they were.
Yeah, because Dickies is what was sold at all the uniform stores that all of us podunk kids had to go purchase from. So that was fun.
In this conversation, I feel I've seen a few times in chat where people were talking about how they're coming to this realization or they're feeling called out. While we finish up this conversation, if you guys have any questions or just topics that you want us to expand on a little bit more, please start dropping them because we'll grab those here. I think we'll save our intentional relationships for our episode in a couple weeks. You need to close the door, sir.
I just tested. Oh, I didn't pull in right.
Oh, okay. There's no lock on this door. Need to have a lock on the door.
He's our special guest this week.
He is. He's never come in here before. Goodness gracious.
A lot today.
What was I saying? We had a section talking about being intentional in relationships, whether it's significant other, family, and friends. But I think I'm going to save that for our conversation in 2 weeks. I think that will be one that will be very helpful then. So yeah, does anybody have any questions about intentional living and minimalism? We'll kind of wrap it up today. Has there ever been a time where you really didn't want to be intentional with a particular item, event, etc.? In the moment, yeah, of course. But going through the thought process of it, it turns out to be that it wouldn't be worth it for me, at least. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Like if I was going to an event, do I need to go buy new clothes? Just perfect example. You go out every single night at a convention. Are people going to really notice that you are wearing the same going out clothes from this convention compared to last convention that they saw you at 6 months
Honestly, prior? I think about that all the time whenever I have to think about my outfits because I plan every single outfit. And I don't know why, but that thought gives me so much anxiety. And I think that stems from how I was raised and had that in my head. But the good thing is I usually can just pick something out of my closet that maybe they just haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
So that problem of purchasing just for that party is not too much of an issue for me. But it sucks that is something that is in my head and in my heart anytime that I think about, oh, did I wear this at this last convention? I wonder how I could change it up to make it look different. I have one dress in my closet that is my favorite dress of all time, and I want to wear it every day of my entire life. I want to be buried in it, but I can't. Because I'm like, no, they'll think I'm gross.
I have 3 like fancy, we don't really like go out here, so I call them like my evening convention tops. 3 of them, and I either wear them with black pants or black leggings or a pair of jeans, and that's just it is what it is. So there's going to be pictures of me in one convention compared to another convention the following year, and I'm probably going to be wearing the same outfit. And it's such a weird thing because like celebrities are even taught to do that, to not outfit repeat, and then it becomes like a news thing when they do outfit repeat. And they're like, is this good? And there's like this debate whether or not it's okay. I mean, we talked about Bernie wearing the same jacket, and that became news because everyone thought that he should have bought something new to go to the inauguration. But in his head, he's like, it's going to be cold. I need a jacket. no, it blows my mind that becomes a newsworthy thing that somebody's wearing the same coat when everyone expects them to have something different. Just
that is so frustrating. And honestly, that's a big reason why there is an issue with people over purchasing for outfits that they're going to wear once.
Yeah.
That is a huge issue.
I have a few dresses that I've only worn once that I'm holding on to because I'm like, I have a feeling that there's going to be some situation. There's only 2. And so they take a very small space in my closet. And so I'm fine holding on to those 2 dresses. If I
Are they like more formal?
Yeah, yep. One of them I wore to the Gamers. It wasn't Gamers Choice. Was it Gamers Choice Awards?
I know what you're talking about.
The teal one.
Game Awards.
Okay. It was the one that was on TV that we had to go
yeah,
through.
I don't know the name of it, but yeah.
Yeah. So we went through, and I have that dress, and then I have a bridesmaid's dress actually that my friend let me pick out. I think you actually have the same one, but in a different color. Yours was like maroon and had the lace sleeves.
Yep.
I have like a dusty mauve one of that same dress.
We talked
it's
about
gorgeous.
That.
I love how it fits on me. And so I'm holding on to it if I ever need something a little fancier.
You want a twin sometime?
Let's show up in like super fancy, and like hair all up and cool.
A special dinner at McDonald's win?
Oh my gosh. My wife talks about money issues around the kids. I don't know how to confront her on stopping that around the kids, but it never gets through to her. What should I do? So I think that some things are okay to talk about in front of your kids. Obviously, if you're arguing, I personally don't think you should argue intensely in front of your children. Everyone has different parenting things, but growing up with parents that argued intensely in front of me, it never turned out good. Obviously, arguing and being like, no, don't put the dishes in the dishwasher this way, put them this way. And then the other person being like, well, that's silly. Why am I doing that? You just do the dishes then. Like that kind of arguing is just, that's relationships. And I think kids need to learn how to argue. We never argue. She just brings it up and the kids ask for broke. That I think then is a different thing that you guys need to decide together if you are going to have a conversation with your kids to let them know the reality of where your family is, or if you want to keep that private from them. I always knew that we didn't have a ton of money growing up, and it made me value getting new stuff versus stuff from Goodwill or garage sales so much more. I remember one year my parents took me to Walmart to get back to school clothes. And I was so excited because they were brand new versus from garage sales or Goodwill. And I loved the crap out of those clothes. It was like maybe a week's worth of clothes, and I pretty much rotated to just those clothes because I was so proud and so happy that I had brand new clothes. So I think it definitely needs to be something that you just need to say, hey, we need to talk about how we're going to handle this because it's causing confusion. Do you have any different opinion?
No, honestly, I was going to echo literally everything. Raised the same way, especially with the arguing thing. It's hard because we're only professionals in our own marriages, so it's really hard to give advice.
Our marriages are not perfect.
No. Jack's in here right now. But no, it's hard to give advice on that in particular, especially since you've already had these conversations and they keep happening. Sorry to hear that, but I do agree with what Sam said about if y'all need to decide, are you going to talk to your children about that and be open and very transparent with them on where y'all are at financially and what you can and cannot do or say. That's really something that hopefully communication can get better on.
And maybe you need to, so they just said my thoughts as well. I can't get it through to her though. She's a penny pitcher. I'm a materialist. I think you guys need to be on the same page of what is money issues. because what she considers money issues might be something way different. If she's more into spending, she might see having $500 in an account is not having a lot of money. But as somebody that doesn't consider that to be a lot of money, or wait, I think I did that backwards.
Yeah.
She might think having $500 in an account is a lot of money, but you might think that that is not enough money, or, something like that. $20 for a pair of jeans is wasting money. I grew up the same way. I growing up until maybe about 10 years ago, not even then, I don't buy jeans unless they're on sale.
What are jeans?
Right. So even then, and I mean, our family is well off. I won't buy jeans unless they're on sale, because I think $70 for a pair of jeans that I find comfortable is way too much money. So I'll buy them when they're like 40. And then even then, I make sure that I don't have any other pair of jeans that looks even remotely similar to the ones that I already have. So I have like 4 pairs of jeans.
There you go.
So,
yeah. I mean, and that's one way to think of it. And as somebody who's on a different spectrum of the Lupos, we're just basic middle class. I also will buy things on sale. Practically everything that I own was purchased from sales.
I still live as though Ben was working at his previous job and I was working as a photographer, and we were just barely making 6 digits.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, because then when we can go through and spend money, it's there, and we don't even have to think about it. That's the best part, is that we've done so well in being intentional in our purchases and our living and everything now, that when we do want to do something fun, it's there. And that can go for anybody in any varying degree. I've never done the full Dave Ramsey course. I don't believe in 100% of everything that he does, but he says, live like no one else now so you can live like no one else later. So live so intentionally now that at some point, if you get a wild hair up your butt that you want to go on a family vacation, the opportunity could potentially be there.
Yeah.
Whether it's having a staycation and you just get a hotel with a pool or something like that, or you go travel around the world, it doesn't matter. The same concept is there, is live like no one else. So that way you can live like no one else. And because everybody lives in the middle, right? Majority of us live in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And very few live in the very bottom, and very few live at the very top. So if you can live towards the bottom, then you can eventually live towards the top in situational moments. And that's how Ben and I treat our financial status too. So
there you go. Also, somebody had said, sentimental items, when it gets too much, how do you get rid of them? So I pretty sure we talked about this in the first intentional living episode, whenever we discussed that. I think Sam and I both have our own like bins or boxes or something, that if it fits in there and it is that special to you, then it can stay. And it's the same with like kids' art and school projects and things like that, because that's where I struggled a lot with my own sentimental items, with my son's stuff. And a lot of people actually mention just taking photos of them if it's something that I don't mind just looking at digitally. However, there are some things that, like I have this right here. There are some things that are really special. Like my son made a clay butterfly, and this lives on my desk because he made it for Mother's Day for me. And so things that I can tell were very personally made, and not like, I think Sam mentioned this, not that the teacher did everything and then it was like a splash of the kid. Those things aren't as important to me as well. But yeah, so get a pretty box or a bin. If you want a big bin, that's fine too. Just don't hold on to what really can't fit into that aspect
of your mummified chicken breast.
Get rid of that freaking chicken breast. Oh, it's funny again. Mad about it.
No more hail. This is a gift card from Walmart. You can't see it because it's partly green. But this is a gift card from Walmart that my grandmother, who passed away a few years ago, got me for a present when I gave birth to Charlie. It has 91 cents on it. I've held on to it in my wallet till yesterday. I pulled it out of the trash. Because the likelihood of me carrying this and going to Walmart and using it for 91 cents is very slim. Obviously, I've been holding on to it for 5.5 years now. And I threw it away because I have other ways to remember my grandmother. She loved wolves. We have a wolf statue in our house. Obviously, our last name Lupo means wolf, so it just felt like everything all full circle. It was her way of saying that she approves of the family that I created. So it's going back in the trash now. But sentimental items, you really need to figure out why you're holding on to them. Is it because you feel like you're going to forget somebody? You hold on to 91 cents on a card in your wallet and it frustrates you each time that it keeps getting in the way? Or when you open up your memory box, do you spend hours going through things because you don't remember what's actually in there? I feel like a memory box, you should remember what's in there. And if it's something that you're opening and you're just like, oh, this is in here, do you really have a memory attached to it? Or is it just something that you feel like you needed to hold on to?
Yeah.
So I'm the same thing with you with art. Like if Charlie actually did something to it, then yeah, we'll keep it. But if it was he colored a paper plate that the teacher went through and punched and turned into an elephant, then he just colored it. He can color any piece of paper for me. So Ben has a different opinion on that, so we kind of figured that out.
Yeah, Eric and I have a different opinion on that as well. He's just like, I'll trash it. Trash everything. Okay. And I'm like, no. This one I keep.
There was one up here that I wanted to look at. When did you start doing intentional living and minimalism? Were you always like that, or was it after you got married or something? Was there something that just sparked this for you? I'm having a hard time pushing myself to go through my stuff and everything. It's different for everyone. I follow somebody on Instagram, the LA Minimalist, and she just had a day where her life was just so low. She got mad and threw everything out and started over. And she has a picture of her going through her closet, and she got rid of practically everything and started her minimalism journey. Some people are inspired by other accounts or documentaries or books or people and start that way. I started because Ben and I were going through a little bit of a rocky time in our relationship, in our marriage, and it stemmed from us not being able to stay on top of our day-to-day stuff. Laundry wasn't getting done. Dishes weren't getting done. We would get mad because we wouldn't have a clean plate to eat our dinner on. So then we'd have to wash the dishes, and then we'd hold resentment for the person who said they were going to do the dishes. And it just stemmed and grew into a larger monster. And especially with Ben's ADD, having a cluttered space makes it so he can't focus on everything else. And that's why I started. So I started right before I got pregnant with Charlie. So what? That's almost 7 years ago that I started just being more intentional. Things obviously have gone up and down since then, but I would say as far as like being, this is my lifestyle, maybe the last 4 years for me.
Yeah. And mine is very new. Mine's honestly probably been the last 6 months. It started initially, I think it was PAX West. I don't know which year it was. It was like 2 years ago or something. Was it you?
I came over to your Airbnb.
Oh no, yeah, it was PAX, yeah, because it was the Fortnite thing. You came over while Ben was casting, and yeah, like I opened my suitcase and I was looking for my outfit that I planned to wear, and you were like, "Oh my gosh, I usually just pack specific outfits all together." No, I needed that. It was a wake up call for me because I was like, "You're right. This is a 3-day weekend, and I have enough clothes for a week," because I wasn't sure what I wanted to wear, and so I didn't really think of that as like intentional living because I hadn't heard the term yet, but it made me very mindful from then on out, anytime that I was traveling, on what I was packing and does it go with this outfit, and are there items that I can reuse? So like belts, accessories, maybe shirts that I can then wear as an undershirt, jackets that I can wear on top, and things to make my packing situation less stressful on me. And then whenever I open my suitcase, I know exactly where things are. And sure, this isn't like in my home, but it has made these moments where I know I'm going to be working, I know I'm going to be busy, I know that it's going to be a stressful time, but also a very exciting time. But at least when I open my suitcase now, I know exactly what I'm wearing that day and exactly what goes with it. And thanks, Sam, for that.
And
You
I think
really
it was the next convention. I feel like was
it was the
GCX.
next one.
That was the next convention that you had like shown me. You're like, look, I only have.
Yep, it was every convention after that I packed intentionally, and I knew exactly what was in my suitcase. So that's where mine started, was because Sam made me feel so bad unintentionally, but I
That was
felt
like one of
so
the first times that you and I hung out. Was
uh
there, right? That was in Seattle for the Fortnite.
Mhm,
But it was PAX, yeah. That was the first one of the first times that you and I hung out on our own too.
mhm.
So we were
Yeah,
like still getting to know each other.
I know, and she was raw and honest with me from the start. I was
That's
like,
who I
"You know what? You're
am.
right. This," and yeah, no, I harped on that so long. I still think about it every single time, and I'm just like, how do I pack? Let's pack each outfit. And now, like, Eric will walk in the room and he'll see me like have full, looks like bodies all over the floor and on the bed because I have my outfits all the way to my hats. Like, there's a beret on top, or there's a headband on this outfit, or there's like maybe a bow or a scrunchie for this one. And like, I have it perfectly set apart. And then I'll usually bring maybe two pairs of shoes. But if I can get away with one for each outfit, love it.
I always bring one extra outfit with me. Um
Like
and
for, your evening, or oh, wait, what do you mean?
like one extra outfit completely.
Oh,
Because there
like
will
a jump.
always be some day where like something comes up and you're just not feeling your outfit. So I'll always bring one extra one that I can kind of like mix and match items with if I need to. But I'm the same way as you. I'm like, all right, we're gonna be there for 3 days. I need an airplane outfit. I need
Mhm.
a Saturday outfit. I need a Saturday evening outfit. I need a Sunday outfit, and I need my airplane ride home, whatever kind of thing.
Yeah, I usually
And
make my airplane outfit my day 1 outfit. I
yeah,
try to, at least, unless it's like a really early flight, then I'm like, "Nah, I'll change when I get home. Let me wear something
I
super comfy."
usually will change when
Mhm,
we arrive. So I'll be like leggings and a sweatshirt, like a hoodie that I can just disappear in.
mhm.
And then when we arrive there, I'm like, take a nap, get dressed, and then go do, go do my thing.
Yeah,
But
it's
yeah,
so nice though. It's so good. And yeah, I guess I just never have room for an extra outfit because, my outfits are so stacked.
you are literally head to toe.
I am. My socks have to match a particular way. Y'all don't understand. But that it helps me wear everything in my closet or
So when you
dressers.
asked me that question, if my socks need to match, were you meaning match each other or match my outfit?
Match
Over
each
on
other.
Instagram, match each other. Okay, then yeah, definitely. I have like white socks and that's it.
See,
I like
I
to
don't care if I match.
I like
Like
to live
each
a
other.
minimalist lifestyle. My spouse doesn't. If you can relate, how do you cope with the differences? You can only control you.
Mhm.
So you can control the space that is yours. Your closet, your section in the bathroom, things that only you participate in. So if you are the sole cook of the family, I would say that you can minimize cooking items,
Mhm.
but you'd have to still that is considered a public space, so you'd have to check with your significant other for that. Um, but yeah, you can only control you in every aspect of life. So if you force people to become minimal with you, they are going to resent you.
It's gonna stress them out.
Yep. And then it will make you not intentional in your relationships.
Or you can make just little comments, that Sam did with me, and it made me think. And that's kind of when I started. It's just because she didn't say anything mean.
No,
It
I
was
think
just
it was
like,
just
"Oh, wow,
like
you have
I
some
think I
clothes."
asked you if when you pack, how do you plan, or do you get stressed when packing or something like that? And then
But they
you
were
would
just like,
like,
"Yeah, just put outfits together and just toss them in there, and then maybe a few extra." And I was just like, "There's really no reason. Why do I do
because you
this?"
had like 2 suitcases.
I
Full of
had, yeah, I
clothes.
had my carry-on, for, like, stuff that I bring back. I always bring, like, my carry-on just for that,
Hmm.
and then I had my other one. Or I put shoes in my carry-on that are too heavy. So it was just too much. And oh,
I understand the you can only control you, but what about when it impacts the other person? Example, the impulsive spending that impacts ability to efficiently pay bills.
mm,
If it is somebody that is now affecting you, let's say it's like your significant other or your roommate is an compulsive spender, and then you can't pay bills, it's affecting you now. So now you have the right to say something. Um, in my opinion on that kind of stuff is as long as it's not hurting you or somebody else, then it's their life, it's your life to do with what you want.
yes,
Um, that's politically religious spending habits, personality, whatever. As long as it's not hurting you or somebody else, then it's your life to do with what you want. And that basically works for pretty much everything. But if it's a thing where you have a friend that compulsively spends, but then they are on the verge of being kicked out of their apartment because they can't pay their bills, what would you say to one of your friends, Sam, if that was a situation?
mm, it depends on the friend, that's for sure, and depends on my relationship with the friend. I feel like if it comes to a moment where, like, I can't just say, "You need to look at why you're buying things," and it's more so if somebody tries to come to me to ask for that financial help, then it's a problem.
Right.
For sure, because then it's just like, "I'd love to help you, but you've gotta help you."
Yeah. I would just come along
That's
in with questions and suggestions, similar to how I had asked you questions about your packing. I had asked you, "Do you
yeah,
find it stressful to find your outfits, or do you get overwhelmed?" And you're like,
yep.
"Yeah." And I was like, "Have you ever thought about doing this?" And it might have came across like, especially as us with new friends, as me being like a little judgy, but it wasn't ever intended to. Um, and it turned into something that worked out better for you in the long run. But they said it's my significant other. We've talked about it for years. I feel like we're talking about significant others a lot today.
We're
Hopefully, the
gonna get
significant
there.
others do not watch these. We are not judging. We are just answering questions. We don't know you. I'm fiscally responsible, so I pick up the slack, but it's getting really frustrating. I need a new approach or maybe a good budgeting app to hold him responsible. I don't know. I feel like in that situation, it's affecting you, right? It's affecting your ability to be able to have a roof over your head. If you are pulling from separate accounts, then maybe you need to make a joint account that's just for paying bills, and that money needs to be deposited in there right away. Or
Yeah, I have a suggestion actually, because Mother Pepper, you mentioned that, maybe a new approach, like budgeting app to hold 'em responsible. So this is not sponsored at all or anything, but there's an app that I use that's called Capital with a Q. Um and I you can set up like little goals, including savings ones. And so say they like to spend money, like say they have a guilty pleasure and it's their favorite fast food restaurant. You can actually set it up to where if you spend like $5 at this fast food restaurant, it'll then add like $2 to this savings account, and you're not seeing it, like, because you're just giving the money away basically, like you're not really thinking about it, and over time it'll build like this savings for you that you don't even realize. So you can set up different goals. You can set up a 52-week method where it'll take, depending on the number of the week, it'll take $1 week 1, $2 week 2, and things like that. Like I have that actually set up for Leif's college fund. I have it set up for my taxes. I have it set up for convention travel and
yeah,
things
remember
like that.
that's how you said that you plan for conventions is you round up
Mhm.
your purchases.
Yeah, and it helps me a lot because I set it and forget it, and I don't check the app until like it's that time where I might need something. And I go and look at how much I saved, and I'm always just like, what? Because oh, here, let me spell it out for you. Capital. That's what it is. So yeah, there are apps out there. I'm sure there's other ones. That's just the one that I've used literally probably for the past 3 years, 4 years. And it's been awesome. So
The
highly recommend
the other way that you could, if you need them to have like a visual, some people need a visual thing.
Mhm.
I personally don't know if I would be able to do an app like that because I want to know where like my money is and everything. I would constantly be checking it and being like, how much do I have today? How much do I have today? Kind of thing. My parents used to do the envelope system. If
I've
you've
heard of
ever heard of
yeah.
that. So basically you pay everything in cash. So you take your paycheck and you take out everything that you need and you put them in envelopes, or you can do it digitally by putting everything in separate accounts. And so you have a bill paying account. So you get your paycheck and you know that you have to pull a certain amount ahead of time. You can even automatically set this up for when your paycheck comes. It can hit your account, and then the day after, you can have it automatically pulled from that account and put it into your bill paying account. Banks will let you have as many accounts as you absolutely need because it's better for them. And so, yeah, some bank accounts have the ability to set up separate spaces. You can totally check to see if that's a thing and make it so there's not even an opportunity to second guess it. So as soon as the paycheck comes through, you know that if they need to put $400 in towards rent, that $400 is taken out because then they, as an adult, can take care of their own personal spending. But you, as part of a relationship, can take care of your mutual spending. That makes sense. We have talked about that, the envelope system. He said he would do it, but it still hasn't happened. Really just need to buckle down. You really just need to handhold then. Some people need to have their hands held and be walked toward where they need to do. I call them kid gloves. You need to kid glove somebody. You need to cradle them like a baby until they can figure it out. They can't walk on their own two financial legs, so you need to help them. And it's one of those things that obviously could be frustrating, especially as an adult. But some people weren't taught one way, and some people were taught the other way. So we also include intentional living and minimalism onto digital and online things like keeping fewer files, not having as many tabs open, and anything like that when browsing. Yes, 100%. You do that as well.
Sorry. I just I'm trying to fix something that just happened on my monitor.
Oh no. I will go then.
Sorry, repeat that.
Do you also include your intentional living and minimalism to online and digital things? Did you do the unroll.me?
No, it kept giving me an error. No, mine just kept giving me an error. I don't know why it's not working.
So I don't know if their website was just like freaking out or something like that.
I did manually go through and unsubscribe from a lot of emails.
Mm-hmm.
So
I try not to sign up for anything. If there's that box that like send me items and news and stuff, I'm always like,
I don't want
unclick that baby because nobody wants that. And if I miss out on them dropping a new product, obviously I didn't need it because I wasn't actively looking for it in the first place. If I want a sale, I can just type in Shutterfly coupon code and I will get 10 million coupon codes available to me. I don't need their emails every other day telling me.
Tell me not. There's like coupons all over it.
Yeah. So I do. And even with like the accounts that I follow, I go through maybe every 3 months or so and will unfollow a handful of accounts. People that I don't interact with, people that I don't see anymore. Maybe I temporarily followed them because I wanted to come back and look at something and I never did. Or maybe like their views don't line up with me anymore and I just didn't realize I was still following them. That's a big thing. So yeah, I definitely minimize, intentionally live in my digital world too.
Yeah. So for those of you who are still doing the men's game, you can still hashtag with TMWMins. However, how many items is it left? So 29, 30, and 31, right?
Yeah.
So that's 61, 81, 90. So 90 items left. So you got 90 items for the remainder of January if you're up
And
to
even
date.
if you just want to start today and just get rid of 90 items for the next 3 days.
Yeah, you can do that. Or if you want to start fresh in February, you can do that as well. So just continue to definitely have this in the back of your mind. I, as a new learner and somebody who is constantly learning about this journey, take your time. It's overwhelming to think about, but be patient with it and just think about what works with your lifestyle and with those around you, as we've seen that everybody has different views sometimes with their partners.
Yeah.
So
some people do it all at once. You said about 2 years ago is when the idea came into your head, but 6 months is how long you've really been doing it. I've been doing it for about 7 years, but hardcore, and I've been intentionally doing it for 4 years. So, and some people, like I said, they just do it in a weekend and then they call it a day and they have a new life. My brain could not handle that stress.
Yeah.
So, yep. Thank you so much, guys, for hanging out. Next week, reminder, my sister-in-law, Molly, is going to come on and talk to us about the 4 M's.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, so it'll be movement, macros, mindfulness, and meditation. Wait.
What is it?
Movement. Macros, mindfulness, meditation. I believe so. Yes. And so she has a program that she created. She is a certified nurse practitioner, doctorate in nurse practitioning, and
That's awesome.
And she's just working her butt off and stuff like that. She has courses. We'll talk all about that next time. We're not here to sell you on anything, but if it is something that really aligns with you, you have opportunity to continue that. So that will be next week, same time, same place. As per usual, are you running outside and getting hail? Or are you?
No, it's sunny again.
It's sunny now. Oh no.
Okay, well, it's not sunny. It's just cloudy with some sun.
A chance of meatballs.
A little bit of meatballs, the usual.
All right. Well, then, in that case, have a good rest of your day. Have a good weekend, a good week. We'll see you guys next week with our next guest. And then the following week is going to be jumping us into February. And it'll be right before Valentine's Day. So we're going to talk about love and things that we've learned in being in relationships and how we apply that to our relationships now.
Yes. Bye, everybody.
Bye.